Hey guys, it's Dan, your host of your Dan's Reviews, and today I'm back for another video for The Plague. This one is going to be leading up to the mid-season finale of The Plague, leading up to Episode 7 of Season 4, which we do not have the title yet at the time of recording this video, but still going to be doing the predictions for next week's episode of The Plague. Next on, of course, The Plague. So, we don't have a promo or a sneak peek or anything like that. We don't even have any footage of this episode yet. We don't have anything. All we have, basically, is a picture, which was released a couple months ago. It was a leaked picture of Samantha wearing Anthony's shirt, which I think I'm on to something that I really like, and I really like this theory, and I'm gonna share it with you guys in this video. But before I do, I just want to say, if you have not seen what is Anthony's last episode, go ahead and check out my 11-minute review. It's actually almost like 12 minutes, and I go really in depth, and we talk about everything that happened in that episode. So, now we're going to be doing the predictions for Episode 7, which, like I said, I have no idea what this one's called, but this is the last episode until probably June or July. From what I saw from Talking About the Plague, and yes, I did watch Talking About the Plague, it sounds like it's going to be returning in some point in time in June, which is actually not that far away, and I'm happy it is, because that means that when Fear is on, we'll have the Plague. Which one am I going to be, having the most fun with and doing the most videos on? Probably the Plague, but, that's a good thing, because I don't want to have just Fear on the show, or on television. I want to have another show, because honestly, if Fear's the only show on in June, that's going to be torture, to be honest, because I'm not even the biggest fan of Fear as it is, especially after Season 4. So, to have the Plague come back in June, yeah, that's a really good idea, to be honest. So, let's discuss what we think is going to happen in the mid-season finale. I don't have too many predictions because, let's be honest here, there is no footage of this episode actually released, yet at the time of filming this video. Now, there will be a promo this Saturday for this episode. Now, I'm really excited to see that. If we get a lot of stuff in the promo, if there's enough to really cover a whole video on it, I'll probably do a video on it either Sunday or, some point in time before Episode 7 actually releases. But this is it. This is the last episode for The Plague until June, and man, this first half has been so great, and it honestly feels like this first half is already over. Like, it already feels like it, because it's like, it's almost like we've seen the first half, and it's almost like we're just getting a bit of a sneak peek of what's coming up, in the second half and for the new story, because this is going to be a totally different episode. This is going to be really different. I can already tell, and that's why, we haven't seen anything from this episode yet, is because this episode's really probably going to be very different without Anthony. I'm wondering for this episode if we'll get a different intro, because, Undead Freak 78 did say that there is the intro that we've been seeing for the Plague with Anthony in it and all that kind of stuff, with him, on the bridge or whatever, shooting the gun, and then it goes to Undead Freak 78 and then the Plague Season 4. That intro, right? The usual intro for every episode. I'm getting the idea that we might actually see that one more time this episode, mainly because Undead Freak 78 did say before this season started that intro would be used from episodes 1 to 7. So I'm guessing in episode 8, the mid-season premiere when it returns, we'll get to see a different intro with maybe Samantha, John, and, Scott, and, Terry maybe, and other stuff like that. So, that'll be cool once we do get that, and I am super excited to see this new intro, because I have a feeling we're going to see that when it returns in June. But, we could see the new intro in Episode 7 as well. I'm not sure yet, but that's my question on Freak 78. Will we get a new intro with, Samantha, Scott, John, and everybody else, or will Episode 7 still have the same Anthony intro with him on the bridge shooting the gun when it's raining out and stuff, and then the Plague Season 4 with Anthony on it, or will we get something else, for the intro, because, Anthony still being in the intro, it's like, we honestly shouldn't see that anymore, since he's not going to be in the show anymore, so we probably will get a new intro, if it's either this one, or, when it returns for its mid-season premiere in June. So, figured I would comment on that. Now, in terms of the episode itself, like I said, the only thing we have is a picture of Samantha wearing Anthony's shirt that was posted months ago, when this episode was in filming. And, in terms of her wearing Anthony's shirt, I think that's pretty cool. And that's really when my theory comes in. You know how episode 1 of season 4 started, right? You got Anthony's walking, right? You get the music, that really like, that light kind of, peaceful type music or whatever. And, he gets on the motorcycle and he goes to visit John, and, he hops back on the motorcycle and drives away, right? Meanwhile, that music is kind of playing, that kind of like, old country type music, which, I did like how that fit in, by the way. But I think the coolest thing ever is that if episode 7 started with Samantha, and she's walking, right, and we get Samantha who's walking, and we get the music again, and she gets in one of the vehicles or something and drives up or something, and that same music is playing, and she's walking around with Anthony's shirt, she drives, right, and then we see her driving, and then she maybe talks to John or something about this baby or whatever, and are we good, are you normal again, John, are we good? Can you accept the fact that, you and me is never going to happen, and are we good? And then she kind of, walks off or whatever, and then the new intro starts, or the same intro starts or whatever. And it parallels the first episode of season 4, where Anthony's walking and talks to John and stuff like that. So with that same music in the background, that old, like, country music. So I really think that's a cool idea, because honestly, from that picture, with Samantha walking and stuff, with the Anthony shirt, it honestly looks like we're literally going to get, like, the same type of intro with her walking, gets on a vehicle, drives up to John, talks to John, and kind of asks John if, John is good with all this, if John is okay, and, that type of deal. So, honestly, I like that idea, because I think that'd be cool. It'd be kind of like, almost saying, like, Samantha will become maybe not the leader, but, like, one of the forefront characters now that Anthony's gone. So, just a theory at this point, just a theory, and I want to hear if you guys like that theory, because I think I'm on to something, and I think that's a pretty cool idea, if that is what happens, like she's walking, and she gets on, like, a vehicle, or even a bike or something, and, drives, and, talks to John, and then leaves again, and we got that same music. Like, I just think that'd be the coolest thing if it paralleled, Hypocrite, which is the season 4 premiere, which also we don't know the name of this episode yet. That will be revealed tonight, I do believe, when the episode is shown on premiere. When it's scheduled tonight, because I do think Undead Freak 78 is going to post that today, so, I'll definitely be, on the lookout for that. But anyway, really, really cool stuff. Very excited to see this episode, and I do want to talk about one more thing, because I do think that this episode will, in terms of what this episode will contain, I do think this will be very different. I think we're going to see a lot of the, ninjas. I think we'll see a lot of them in this one, and I think it will probably end on a cliffhanger, or some kind of big ending for this this first half. But if I have to say so myself, I think this first half has been amazing. I'd have to look at it, if I like it more than season 3 or 2 or 1. That's really tough to say, because honestly, I'm not sure. I really love season 4, but then I really love season 3, and it's just some of the great stuff that happened in season 3. Season 2 was great, season 1 was great, but really, season 3 versus season 4 is really what I'm wondering. Which one is my favorite, because I'm not sure at this point. Now, in terms of the cast right now, the cast is pretty short, actually. We only have 4 characters. We have Samantha, we have John, which, I'll get to him in a minute, and we have Scott, and we have Terry. Now, Terry hasn't had that much time. Hopefully, we'll get more of him. But, if he survives and stuff. But, if I have to say right now, because I know people are going to ask me this question, so I figured I might as well just answer it in this video. With Anthony gone, my favorite character of the series gone, I can't consider him my favorite character that's in the show right now. So if I had to say right now who's my favorite character in the Plague, going into episode 7, this mid-season finale, some people might be shocked about this. Some people might not if you've been following the channel for a while. I personally view John as the second most important character, and I view John as John is my favorite right now. John is my favorite, even though I wasn't a big fan of what happened with him in the first half with Anthony. I really like episode 5 and what happened with him and Anthony, and just kind of how they worked it all out. And I do think John will go back to his regular self. I do think John will probably, help out Samantha, maybe help her lead or something, and we will see a lot of John in the second half, is what I'm assuming. Now, you know, I know some people, you know, right now, and I do know there's a lot of people that actually think Scott's the best character right now. He is probably my second favorite right now. John's my favorite, but Scott's my second favorite. Then I'd go Samantha, and then, you know, Terry, because he hasn't had that much time yet, but, yeah, I am super excited to see what happens in this mid-season finale, what the second half is going to be, just what the series is going to be after Anthony. But yeah, right now, John is my favorite, and I really am looking forward to seeing what we see from John. So there is going to be a week time skip. It's going to be a week after Anthony is the word right now. So that's going to be really, really cool. I'm so excited to see this mid-season finale. Let's get ready. Let's get excited because it's coming up in 6 days. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.